Hi, Jan.
It's so nice to see everybody. We're coming to you from the Oklahoma City store, and it is still April National Serger Month. And we are going to talk to you today about the Triumph.
Okay.
And I don't know if everybody is aware of this, but I think it's something that is important for people to know. This is a fantastic quilting machine. Did you know that?
I did know that.
I knew you knew.
But a lot of people don't think of them for quilting.
Think of a serger as a quilting machine.
Yeah.
A lot of people think about a serger as the only thing you ever do is just finish the edges of seams.
Sure.
And of course, this is a cover stitch machine too. So I mean, there's all sorts of great things you can do with it. But I like to be able to use a machine beyond what its perceived
Definitely.
purpose is.
Absolutely.
And I think I've mentioned this before, but it bears mentioning again. I have a whole bunch of quilts that my great-grandmother made back in the early 1900s.
Mm-hmm.
And she hand-pieced them, and they're beautiful, but there's nothing to encase the edges of that fabric.
Mm-hmm.
The fabric is old and dry and a little bit brittle, and some of the stitching has popped, and you have to go in and try to repair all that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking, there's got to be a way for me to be able to have a quilt so that my great-grandchildren and great-great-grandchildren can still appreciate all the effort and work that went into it, but that thing's going to hold together. Because in the early 1900s, late 1800s, we didn't have this machine.
Yeah, true enough.
But I live in the 21st century, and I have this machine,
Yeah.
so I'm going to use it. I'm not so much of a purist that I need to sit there with a needle and thread. So I want to show you something on this machine.
Okay.
So we have it set up here on a 4-thread overlock, which is really probably the most basic thing that you can do on any serger, but it happens to be the perfect stitch for what I'm wanting to do. And then I'm going to need you to, can you get your camera in here really close for me, down here by the dials? And I'm going to turn this so you can see it. Do you see where that letter M is right there?
I do.
So the M actually stands for marrowing. There was a man, I don't know his first name, but it was Mr. Marrow.
Yeah.
And he's the one that came up with the commercial industry about needing to do rolled hems or 1/4-inch seams for garments. And so when you have that on the M, it is going to do a perfect 1/4-inch from this outside needle right here
Needle 1. Yep.
to the inside edge
Of the
of the blade. So I'm not really cutting off anything. I'm going to skim the edge of my fabric,
Okay.
but I'm not going
So
to
I'll
cut
try to
it.
get in here for you.
So tell me when you're ready. And
I'm ready.
This isn't actually my quilt. This is just a scrap that I'm showing you
Hey,
on.
I always test first.
Oh,
Don't scrap.
absolutely. Why would we want to chop into something we worked hard on?
Exactly.
I've done that before too, though.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got my presser foot lifted up, and you can see really good. And you can see
Yes.
how I have it bumped up next to the blade.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, she's hit me in the head with the
Sorry.
tablet.
You gotta be able to see what you're doing.
And I'm not cutting. I'm just skimming.
Yeah, maybe the little frayed bits, but that's all. Yeah.
And so you can see I've got my stitch there. And I've got a ruler out here to make life a little easier for us. And I'm going to just fold this over.
Okay.
And if you'll look, do you see how,
Here, you've got it shifted just a little, honey.
can you see?
Yeah, right in there, right in that
From
1/4 inch from the edge of the
seam
fabric
to the edge, it's a 1/4 inch.
Yep.
And we have the outside needle, the inside needle safety stitch, and you have the loopers on the top and the bottom.
Right, so they're gonna kind of poke a little bit beyond
So
the
that's
seam.
all completely encased. And of course, with quilting, we always want to press our seams to one side. We don't
Sure.
press them open
Sure.
because that actually takes away some of the strength of your quilting.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to end up with this perfect 1/4-inch seam that I did with the Triumph.
Beautiful.
Okay?
Okay.
So that's the first step of what I wanted to tell you about. The next thing I wanted to tell you about is we're making a quilt.
Okay.
And we have elected to use this Purely Gates
Mylar
Mylar Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas.
And we took
Prepping early, huh?
Yes, well, you can never start too soon for Christmas
That's
because you know what,
true.
it's going to come around every year, and if I wait till November, then it's not going to happen for Christmas. So I'm doing it in April.
Fair enough.
And we picked out 9 different designs in here, and the Mylar makes it look sparkly. Let me show you one of the blocks. Doesn't it look like magnetic thread? Not magnetic.
Metallic.
Metallic thread. Magnetic thread would be a whole different thing.
Oh, we don't need magnetic.
No, but look how sparkly that is.
Yeah, I love
The
that.
the method that they use here layers the thread and the mylar so that it looks all metallic and lovely.
I think
Isn't
that's
it pretty?
beautiful, yeah.
So we picked out 9 different blocks.
Okay.
And I'll just show you here. This is kind of the idea that drove this. They did 12 blocks. We're
gonna
doing
do
9.
nine, yeah.
So it'll be a square, but it has all of the different piecing around it. And that quilt pattern's actually not in here. They just made a quilt up
Sure.
using the blocks. The embroidery is what's in here.
Okay.
So we have this wonderful tool called Design and Quilt. And one of our team members was like, you know what, I can make this easy for everyone, because all of our stores are doing one of these quilts. So making it easy for the team to be able to do this. And you take Design and Quilt and you put in your information. When you put in your information, so we know that we had our designs and we know how many we needed. And so she figured it out based on, there's all my squares, there's all my pieces, right? There's the sashing and the borders.
Yep.
And then, once you plug all that information in with this lovely Design and Quilt software that I think everybody needs to have, it gives you a cut list. And then I knew what color fabrics I was using, which varied a little bit from what, oh, I can't turn the page, which varied a little bit, but it means I needed 10 pieces 12.5 inches by 1.5 inches, and I needed 20 pieces that were 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches. It's my whole cut list. The whole cut list so that I can go and put this whole thing together, and then it steps me through the piecing instructions so that I can get my whole quilt done.
Wow.
Is that not marvelous?
That is great.
So we have, in just a few minutes, explained to you that we have a perfect machine to piece on. We have beautiful
try it.
designs, which you do have to have an embroidery machine to do these. You can't do it here, so we can do it
But
over
hey,
there.
we got one here, we got one there, we got them everywhere.
We know what we want it to look like. We've plugged in the information
To
with
Design and Quilt.
and then we've cut out all of our pieces so that we can make our blocks. So let me get that ready real quick, and I'm going to show you how easy this goes together.
Okay.
So we have one block completely put together.
Okay, look at
Isn't
that.
it pretty?
It's
And look how
beautiful.
finished the back is.
Oh my gosh, look at that.
I mean, that is not coming undone.
That looks great.
Isn't that amazing?
Yes.
Okay, so let me show you how that went together and pull this one out of my way.
Okay.
And then we need another block,
Okay.
and then we're just gonna stair step it together. It's kind of, in a way, log cabin-ish,
Okay.
right? So I've got my 4 squares, and got my 4 squares. I got the 4 dark pieces, and then they stair step together.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna sew, or serge, I should say.
The nice thing too is you can still do your strip piecing on a serger.
You can. I mean, and if I was doing all of these, you know, at one time.
All
I
9
would-
together,
I
right.
would do all of them together, but right now I'm trying to show you one block at a time.
The Triumph even has a knee lift so that you can make it really easy to fit the next piece underneath because it's a longer foot than what you're going to get on a sewing machine. But that knee lift will make it super easy to still just get right up under there to do your, see, just like what she's doing there with the presser foot and lifter on the side. You can do that with your knee lift to be totally like hands-free to be on your fabric while you do your presser foot.
Absolutely. And of course, we also have to step aside here to go do a little bit of ironing, and we have the lovely Laura Star behind us,
Indeed.
because part of accurate quilting is accurate pressing.
Mm-hmm, very much so.
So we're gonna go over there and press real quick.
Okay, so we'll be right back.
So I'm putting the dark piece on the sides of the block. Go and do the other side on this one. over to the iron again. And now I need to do these pieces this direction, and I can just match up nestle my seams together right there, since I pressed to the dark over here.
Yep.
And if it is off just a little bit, like what you see right there, I can just
Guess
trim
what?
it with
Your
that
blade will-
blade.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so why make life hard, right?
It's fair.
And then do this side again. It's going to nestle right in there. And you can see it's hanging over just a little bit. You know, we don't live in a perfect world of fabric. Fabric stretches.
True enough.
So we can just trim it off right there. I'm gonna lift that up and get that laying back down. Run back to the ironing board. I'm gonna do the short sides again.
Okay. Come around here so we can kind of see some of what you're doing on this edge of things.
And it bows out just a little bit, but again, it can trim. And turn it around and do this one.
The nice thing too is it will trim off the tails from the previous seaming.
And you guessed it, guess what I'm gonna go do?
Press.
Now we're gonna put the last two pieces on. Lost my foot control.
And if you didn't cut it perfect, it'll be able to trim off a little bit of discrepancy there. I know I'm not a precision cutter for quilts. Some of you are, and I have mad respect for you.
She didn't learn that from me. I am a precision cutter, but what I've learned from all my years of working on this is that no matter how precise you cut things, I mean, we cut these all precise, fabric just stretches.
It can, absolutely.
And you just have to be able to work with it.
But the serger's cleaning up any bulk that would otherwise have been trapped in our seams, you know.
So why don't you come over to the iron with me this time?
Okay, I'll walk with you.
Since we keep talking about it but not showing it. 'Cause
Well, that's fair.
I'm telling you, if you don't have a Laura Star, you don't know what you're missing. I'm gonna take that.
So to protect the mylar, we're ironing from the back.
I mean, you can iron on the Mylar, but I think the less
Just don't-
we,
yeah,
the
don't
less we
overdo
press
it.
it, the better off we are.
Yeah.
And look, now we have yet another
Look at
beautiful
that.
block.
I love it.
I mean, is this not so much fun
That
quilting
looks
on a serger?
wonderful,
Because
yeah.
look how perfect it is.
Yeah, that
This is
great.
not coming
Okay,
undone.
Give it a shimmer. Give it a shake. Go back and forth, back and forth. Sorry, I'm gonna give you guys a nausea.
So I hope we have enticed you into thinking about what else can I do with my serger? Maybe you already have one and you don't even know that this would be a great way for you to be able to do quilting. It's more than just for garments. I want to use this to its fullest extent, and if I can get a perfect quilt out of it, then I'm all for it.
Oh, yeah.
And you can quilt on it too with the cover stitching if that's what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's all up to you. So if you are interested in a serger, we have the Triumph and everything else in the Baby Lock line. We have anything that you want in sergers, and they have through the end of April with Baby Lock some great rebates on the Triumph.
Yeah.
So if that's something that you've been thinking about and you'd like to get a little money back in your pocket so you can buy stuff, these are all fat quarters that we sell here in our stores.
Oh,
that
yeah.
we've cut up. So look what you can do with a couple of fat quarters.
Mhm.
It's amazing. All of this was done on fat quarters.
Yep. Yes, it was.
So, all right, I hope I've enticed you to want to come into the store. Remember, we have stores in Humble, Oklahoma City, Muskogee, Tulsa, Fayetteville and Springfield. Did I leave anyone out? I don't think so. And we also have an online division. So give us a call and find out how you too can be quilting with your serger.
All
All right, I
right.
think it's time for foot of the week.
Okay, here we go.
All right, foot of the week,
Here we go. What do we got this week?
A foot.
A foot.
That's the buttonhole foot.
Buttonhole.
Again, I don't know how they came up with the letters, but to me, a buttonhole foot would start with a B, but it doesn't. It starts with an A.
There's not a B foot.
There's not a B foot. I don't know. A zipper foot would be a Z foot, but it's not. It's
It's
an
an
I.
I.
So I didn't come up with it. But this is your buttonhole foot. So on a buttonhole foot, we have a little place here at the back that we can slide open.
Let me get in closer.
Okay, see that right there? That slides. And then I take my button and I put it in here.
Here, let's move over to this. The light is a little bit funky.
Okay,
There we
so
go. That's
so
easy
see
to
where it slid open, and then I
Yes.
put my button in there and I slide it down on there, so it knows exactly how long this buttonhole needs to be. So instead of me measuring the button
Yeah.
and measuring it on the fabric, it knows how to do that.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so I'm going to raise up my pressure foot, drop off my J foot, and then this is a snap-on foot,
Okay.
and we're going to put that so it's on there. There's a little lever back here that pulls down. Can you see that, or is my arm in the way?
Yeah, do it
Right
again.
there. Okay, see, it goes up,
And
comes
goes
down, and it goes behind that little silver piece right there.
Okay, perfect.
Because now that is going to stop between here and back here, so it knows how long the buttonhole needs to be.
Okay.
So we're here on the chorus, and we're going to go to the tab that is the buttonholes.
Okay.
So you have all of these options.
Yeah.
I'm just going to do your standard rectangular buttonhole. Actually, doesn't need to be a very big one.
Okay.
So we got that on there, but you have all of these different options plus some darning stitches in there. Okay. So it tells us we need the A foot.
Right.
We have the A foot on there, and then we're going to stitch this one out. Most of the time, if you are used to doing a four-step buttonhole where you do this the left side, then you do the bar tack, and then you do this, it goes towards you, and then it goes away from you. When we do this four-step buttonhole, it goes away from you to begin with.
Yeah, it starts at the bottom edge of the
And that
buttonhole.
threw me off. I kept sewing off the edge of my fabric all the time. And I was like, what is wrong with this
Yeah,
thing? And there
right.
wasn't anything wrong. It's just that it was going. So I needed to know where my leading edge
Yep.
was, not where my starting edge
Right.
up here was. So we're just going to do this right here in the middle of this quadrant. And put my pressure foot down. And you can unplug your foot controller. And then you have the ability to just do this with the touch of a button. It goes backwards, it comes back down, and then it's going to do the satin stitch over that underlay stitch. It's going to bar tack the back end and the front end, satin stitch its way back, bar tack across the bottom again, does a tacking stitch. I'm going to cut my thread. Look at that perfect buttonhole.
Yeah,
So-
perfect size for the button.
Let me take my buttonhole foot off, and I'm going to show you a little trick. There's my button, okay? I'm going to set that aside for the moment.
Love it.
You have to cut the buttonhole open.
Well, that's true.
If you take a straight pin and you put it just ahead of the bar tack, like that, and you take this one, and you put it just ahead of the bar tack, take your handy dandy seam ripper, and you start from the center, and you slide it. I can't go past the pin.
Right.
I can't go past the pin. Without the pin there, you can, and I'm just going to show you what happens sometimes is you push, and you can
And
cut
you
through
cut
the end of
through
your
the
buttonhole.
buttonhole, right.
And that is no fun. I act like I've done that before. And then,
We might have all
look,
done it before. Hold on, let me come around.
look at this. It's the perfect size.
Oh.
Perfect size. Look at that. All that because it was measured
On the back of the
right
foot.
in here.
Yep.
Now I already put this lever up, but you have to remember when you're done, you have to put that lever up. If you don't, and you try to do something, it's going to tell you on the screen.
Right.
Put that lever back up.
Right.
But that's how easy it is to use a one-step buttonhole on
Love
these
it.
machines. Isn't
Love
that
it.
wonderful?
It is.
Okay. We'll have another foot next week.
Okay.
All right. Oh my gosh, Kaylin, I've had so much fun today. I love it when I get to talk about things that I really get a kick out of. And
Fair.
quilting on my serger, showing you how to make a perfect buttonhole. Doesn't
Good
get better
things.
than that.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, sewing is so much fun. So much fun. We have some things coming up. It
Here I
is
come.
filling up quickly in all the different locations that are having summer camp. Summer camp is the Project Sew for the children ages 9 to 16. We have different sessions available. We have them in the morning for the 5 days, or we have them in the afternoon for 5 days. We also have it at different locations on different weeks. So whenever you go to sign up, if you choose to sign up online, be very cautious and aware of which week and which store you're signing up for. Or when you call, make sure that we are real clear on which store, which time of day, and which week you're wanting to be in.
Yeah, definitely.
It's $299 is the camp fee. It is the best money you're going to spend to give your kids a life skill. They're going to make 3 fun projects. They're going to go home with a sewing machine and a sewing kit, and they're going to get to eat snacks. Who doesn't like that?
Yeah,
Okay, so
that's fair.
that is Project Sew Summer Camp.
Okay, what else we got
We
coming?
also have coming up the Firecrackers Quilt Floor Canvas. It is on June 7th or June 8th. It's a
Okay.
one-day class.
Okay, we're
Look
just
at
offering
this
it twice.
fun
Awesome.
canvas. And it is a complete sewing project. It's not serger, it's not embroidery, it's not software, it is sewing.
And
So
if
for-
you missed the one on the snowman rug, you guys, you've got to come to this class. It was a blast.
It's like
and
one
such
person to a
great-
machine.
It is, and it is so much fun.
Isn't it adorable? It includes the kit. We feed you lunch and have snacks, have a lot of fun. And then there's all sorts of other kits available for sale
Mm-hmm. Oh,
as
yeah.
well. So that one's great fun too. So sign up for that one today. Limited seating when there's only one person to a machine. You
It's
can only
just less
seat
people,
You
yep.
can only seat so many people in a room. So there you go. And then Club is coming up
This week.
Remember, you can be an Emerald membership for $99 a year, or you can be in the general membership that is free. There are perks to being in the Emerald membership.
And we do still have a few of the gift sets left.
We do. So you
a
might
few
be one of the lucky
extra
ones.
people-
Sign up and you can get into that.
Yep.
But it is going to be on Thursday at 1 and Saturday at 10. I don't know if you've seen this. Did we show? This is the most current sticker.
Oh my gosh, last
Got to
but
look at
not
all the
least,
surging
we got our
stitches on that.
Serger month sticker.
Okay, so if you have been a sticker collector, or if you haven't and you need to become a Be Sewin sticker collector,
We've got
it's
them.
all about sergers this time. I know that's not a serger, but there are
It's our
sergers.
logo,
It's
but
our
with serger
logo.
stitches,
That's right.
yes.
That's right. And I was just at the Missy Billingsley event last weekend
Oh my
in
gosh,
Tulsa.
so
And I
fun.
asked all the wonderful ladies there if they had been watching Knew It Too. And a handful of them said yes, but a whole lot more said they had not. So I challenged all of you folks to watch Knew It Too to find out about all the fun that we have going on. So we need to do something. We need to like, share, and comment. And if you were at the Missy event and you're new to Knew It Too, or if you're watching Knew It Too, will you comment that you heard about it at the Missy event so I will know how many people were listening? We're going to do a giveaway. I promised
Okay,
you
here
guys
we
there's
go.
a giveaway.
What are we
weeks
giving
I
away?
forget, some weeks I don't. So we've been talking about the serger.
Yes.
And we've been talking about Christmas a little bit
Christmas,
today because
yes.
we were showing some of our fun Christmas blocks.
Right.
Look at this. This is a Suki Sews
my gosh.
serger pattern on how to make a stocking.
That is too cute.
So I need all of you guys again to like, share, and comment. And Thursday evening, we are going to have a drawing so that one lucky winner is going to win this fun serger
That is
Christmas
great.
stocking. It's been so much fun talking to you all this week. Look forward to having you join us next week on Knew It Too. Thanks for joining us from all of us at Be Sew In. Have a great day.